Alright, so it's nice to see that Star Wars isn't the only one making vehicles. That DC is actually giving us some that are actually pretty cool. Like the Batmobile. The Batmobile, for instance, they gave us an option. They gave us the $250 version, which was the one I picked because that's like the most amazing toy that I own. Or if you couldn't afford it, or whatever, you don't think it's that cool, you had an option to buy the $60 version. Now on this Nightcrawler, they didn't give you that option. They basically just give you the $30 version, which I think is a really good deal for 30 bucks, considering an action figure costs 20. This thing costs 30, so for an extra $10, you get a really cool vehicle that's kind of in scale with the line. So I'm really glad that they did it. For me, and I'm probably the only one out there, it would have been nice to have the option for like the $30 version and let's say like the $100 or $150 version to make something really nice that kind of goes alongside with this, because you basically put this toy next to that toy and it looks cool, but it does look cheap. But for 30 bucks, I'm happy to get it. Let's check it out. You can see this thing is actually pretty massive. This is the Batman that came with the Batmobile, and he actually doesn't fit inside of it. And it's turned on, and when it's turned on, I don't know, it just keeps talking or growling. I'm not real sure why. Maybe I got to turn it off for that to turn off. It takes like 4 AA batteries, but whatever. So it's probably going to keep growling as this video goes on. And you can see it standing just right about 9 inches tall with the guns and everything. So make sure your shelf is big enough. And then the footprint of this, it's actually pretty large. So you got to have a pretty deep shelf to put this on also. So for 30 bucks, if you got the shelf space, I highly recommend that you pick this thing up. Now, as far as getting a Batman in it, you're supposed to put those talking cheap Batman figures in the vehicle. That's kind of what this goes with. And it kind of matches the cheapness. Like, for instance, like this arm over here, like that's just hollow. Like that to me, I really don't like. Like I much would have rather spent an extra $5 or $10 to have like this plate that goes here, go all the way down, because that almost ruins the toy for me. And these other little clear like roller walking legs, he can't crawl without those things on there. He just kind of wiggles around. So you got to put those things on them if you make them walk around. Eventually, I'm just going to put them on my shelf. I'll probably take those things off just for it will display better. And if your crawler walks around the room crooked, there's a little dial right there. You can turn that dial. It will raise or lower that leg, and that will straighten it up. Mine actually walks pretty straight. I tried it on the carpet, no matter how I turn that, and it actually works out pretty good. Now this Batman that comes with the Batmobile will not fit in the cockpit, so that's kind of a letdown, and it actually has a really big cockpit. It has like this sunroof on it right here. You basically have to open that up to put your finger in here to open it. And it's weird because you can't get this multiverse Batman in the vehicle, but you can easily put a Mezco Batman in the vehicle. And it's weird to have an $80 action figure in a $30 vehicle. So I'll probably just display this thing with the lid down. It's just really cool. The missiles shoot. They actually shoot pretty good. It does make sound. It crawls. You basically, to make it crawl, you push this button. I'm going to put it on the floor. We're going to check that out. As far as the sound goes, if you have the talking Batman, it will interact with it right up here. I guess you wave it in front of it or something, and it will talk. If you don't have that, it still talks. You just push this big, annoying red button on it. I don't know why they couldn't have hit that a little bit better, but hey, it's a $30 toy, so it looks like a $30 toy.
Weapon systems activated.
And it has a little red light inside the cab.
Sensors detecting enemy presence.
Okay, so it actually does quite a lot. It's pretty cool, and it'll sit there and growl for a while. I'm going to take it over here on the floor so Sorry if the video is getting weird. Set it down and you're going to watch this thing crawl. It actually works pretty good. Hopefully this thing will go straight. It usually does.
Weapons, batteries, and fuel at full capacity.
Okay, so for 30 bucks, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get a front view of it walking. Flip around here. Straighten it up a little bit. It still has Mezco Batman in here piloting it. And let's make it walk towards us. Okay, it kind of like hops around. Not really much of a crawl. But if you take those clear rollers off, it really doesn't do anything at all. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the shelf, show it off with the collection, see how it fits. Alright, I got it kind of on my Mezco shelf right next to this $250 Batmobile, which looks amazing. And if you look at both of them, you can definitely tell one looks really cheap and one looks really good. If you were to put like a decent paint job on this Nightcrawler, then it might actually be kind of cool. Like, I think it would actually fit into the shelf. Right now, it just looks a little off. It kind of just looks like a kid toy, which, let's be real here, I think they're all kid toys, but whatever. It is cool. 30 bucks. I think it's totally worth 30 bucks. It takes up a lot of real estate in your toy room. And sometimes that's everything. Like, if you buy a toy and you don't have a good way to display it, then you probably just wasted your money, because there's nothing worse than buying your toys and then packing up other toys and putting them in bins. Like, I just don't do that. If I can't display them, I don't get them. There's the crawler. I don't really have a crawler collection, but there it is with Parademon anyways. Thanks for watching.